Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we have got the king is in the building. It's King Seiko. Now basically a few years ago King Seiko made a resurgence. They released a few different models, but to be fair they were a little bit underwhelming. So what they've done is drew inspiration from their early 70s range of watches called the VANAC range. And they had some really cool watches back then. They featured faceted crystals which looked absolutely amazing until you had to replace one. They were very cool. What they say is the VANAC name actually means vibrant, active, novel, alternative, comfortable, which sounds a bit strange really. It's a good job I didn't call them comfortable, reliable, alternative and precise. That could have been really embarrassing. But anyway, I think the watch is incredibly cool. I weren't going to review one at first. So I didn't think they looked that good in the, on the pictures. Now I've got one in the hand. I really like it. Is it perfect? No, far from it, but I like it. So anyway, before I get too far into this review, I've got to say a massive thank you to the team over at First Class Watches for allowing me to review this piece. Lots of cool, interesting brands. Some you know, some you don't. So if you're in the Midlands area, strongly recommend popping into the shop. If you're a little bit further afield, well, don't worry, I've got you covered as I'll leave a link in the description and at the bottom of the page now. All I ask if you do contact them, please mention the channel. So let's talk sizes first. I'm reading a case size of 41mm, a thickness of 14.6mm. It's a little bit of a chunky monkey to be fair. Lug to lug of very wearable 45mm, and the bracelet on this is coming in at 27mm. The dial itself, and you can see it's a little bit of a smudge magnet, this one. The dial itself is very cool. We have the blue variant here. Now it is available in a few different colours. There's 4 other colours to be fair, but the blue I think looks absolutely superb. I really like the dial. As I say, it just looks so much better in the flesh. You've got this great blue background with the ridges going on there. You've got the applied Seiko, but then they have to repeat it back down here, King Seiko. Now, I think this is a bit, the script on the dial, if they could have put King Seiko at the top, maybe even automatic, I think that's all you need. But do you really need to know it's an automatic 3-day watch? Just, sometimes less is more, and I think that would look better on this one. You have this amazing, lovely polished bezel ring going on there, which is kind of part of a chapter ring with the hour and minute markers on there. At 12 o'clock, you have this lovely polished marker. Looks superb. And you also have the date window fully polished. Now, there is lume on this watch. It's not quite the same as normal lume you expect from anything coming from Seiko. It doesn't quite seem as good. I don't know why. It's still good, but yeah, for some reason it doesn't glow quite as much as I thought it would. The hands themselves are fantastic. The second hand, even with this pair of trousers, oh no, wait, oh, I'll take it back. It's a V. But is it me or does it look like a pair of trousers? It really does. I don't care. I still think it looks cool. I love this little white tip going on there and the black ridge going through the hands. It really is cool. It's one of these flawed but incredibly likable watches, I think, anyway. I should mention the price on this one. We are talking, this is coming in at £2,900 or 3,400 euros, I think it is, before any kind of discounts. Now, obviously, there's a discount to be had because it is part of a Seiko group, but, it is an expensive watch, but we'll figure out a bit more about why when we come and have a look at the movement. I must point out as well, it's got an incredible amount of heft, this watch. It really has. The crystal on this watch, unfortunately, is just a dome crystal with a heavy box section on the side, but it still looks good. But look how incredibly tall that section is. It is a very chunky monkey of a crystal, that one. It does have AR coating, but only on the inside of this one. But to be fair, it does a pretty good job of keeping reflections down to a minimal. So there's no real bezel on this watch because it comes straight out to this amazing looking case here. We have straight line brushing on the top. We have full polish going around the side, and then we have this beveled edge which is polished, and then we go back to some brushwork here. It is absolutely bizarre, and they're kind of little chamfer going on underneath. It's good because if this had more of a flat side, if this came out to here and went down, everyone would complain how thick the watch is. But it hides its thickness in these facets and chamfers by making you look, giving you the optical look of this point here. You don't read actually from the bottom of the case to the top of the case. It's all down to the design, how you can trick the eye into making something seem thinner than it actually is. Now, as we come over to this side, we have got this absolutely bonkers crown on there. I don't think it fits the rest of the design, but I absolutely love it. You have their kind of logo here, and you have these incredible grooves going down the side. It is so easy to grasp. There's no way you're going to slip with this one. It is a screw-out crown there, screwed-in crown, and screws out, you know, no problem at all. I should point out it's a 100-meter water-resistant watch. Now, if I pull that out, obviously we go into hack. If I go into manual wind, it's a lovely, lovely watch to manual wind. It is very, very good. Screw that back in. Okay, just about first time. But as we turn this around, we are greeted with the star of the show. Now, this is a new version of the 8L35. It's the 8L45 movement. It's basically one up from what was in my old Marine Masters. Well, in some ways, it's even better because it has 72 hours of power reserve, 35 joule, and it has the Geneva striping on the back. I put this one on the time graphic, and it was coming in at plus 3 seconds. That is very, very good. The actual specs of the movement, they say, I think it's plus 10, minus 5. But I've owned a few 8-hour movement watches, and they've always been within 5 seconds. They always do very, very well. Now, I know there's going to be many people out there who will say the 8L series of movements are simply the best there is. There's nothing better. Now, I do like them. They're a quality, in Seiko realms, they're a very good movement. But even though they've revised this one with the 72 hours of power reserve, up from, I think it was 50, they've still left the date as a slow date, which is a little bit, you know, technically it doesn't matter. Does it bother me? If a precise movement, you should change instantaneously, I think. So if I screw this out, I'll give you a demonstration. Obviously, we've got our, you know, you do have a quick adjustment there. But if I run this through, now if this was an SW200 and an ETA movement, the date change would be instantaneous. Okay, we're going to go one further round. And that's just a solid, you know, one of those things. But on a Seiko, a high-end Seiko, let's go, where's it going to go? It started at 50, you know, 11:10. It's starting, as you can see, slowly, 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 and it's gone the hour there. Okay, fast, okay, only just slightly past. I've got no problem with that. But, you know, they need to update this movement. They really, really do. I know people say, oh, you know, it's a Seiko, it's normal. I don't know, but God knows. It's just a real shame because this watch is beautiful. Would I still consider buying one? Oh, heck yeah. I think it is still a gorgeous watch. But it could do with a bit of, you know, I don't know, maybe part of its charm is its flaws. But anyway, the bracelet on this one is very, very cool as well. You've got these polished centers and then the brushwork going on. It is really quite nice how they've done this. On the side it is brushed, and if you notice here, every single link is removable. And it's a butterfly clasp, fold it over, King Seiko. Okay, you do have quite a lot of play there. But it's still very, very cool. I do like it. Obviously, there's no micro adjustment beam, but it is a actual, yeah, butterfly style. But these links do look relatively small, so you should be able to get your right fit on there. Let me put it on my wrist so you've got an idea how it looks. Well, one thing I should mention, I believe this is the first King Seiko to ever have a display case back on it. Quick wrist check. Yep, I know, watchmaker and all that, and I'm wearing a sort of like semi-digital watch, but I kind of like the Mex cap. It is very audible. When I'm working on the bench, I can hear every time that moves from 1 minute to the next. It's kind of quite funky. And Bob is wearing the SKX 007. Now, one thing I should point out, the 8-hour movement does have a 8 beats per second. So let's zoom in a little bit more here and you get the idea. Now, if you look at with 2 second hands together, can you see on Bob here, look how juddery the seconds is. It's almost like it stutters as it's coming around the dial. Then look at this new King Seiko. Look at how much better that second hand glides around the movement, the dial there. It is just so much smoother at 8 beats per second. That's how it should be, I think. It really does look quite good. Obviously, Seiko used to do the high beat. Well, I think they still do have a few high beat movements, and they are even better. You could say, go to spring drive, but come on, that's not really, I'd rather have a high beat over a spring drive. The spring drives are incredibly expensive to service. So anyway, that's it on my wrist there. I think, I'm not kidding, it's got it's got some real heft to it, this watch. Is it perfect, as we've stated? No, it is definitely not perfect. Do I want one? I kind of do. I think this is really good. Another thing I should mention as well, it does have quick release on the bracelet there, so you can pop it out nice and easy. So, it is an absolutely stunning watch. Definitely flawed, but I do not care. I like it nonetheless. Anyway, I'll leave you to it with that one, chaps. If you do contact me anyway, I'll try and get back to you, but it is getting a bit harder. Most importantly, stay safe and look after everyone. Bye.